Okay, the scenario that I chose is probably one that many of you might not have looked at, um, although I think it's one that will probably come up more than we think of. It's a scenario where the athletic director is trying to purchase a Olympic size pole vault mat at a discount price, and they have to go to the district accountant to purchase it. In order to do this, the district accountant is going to have to move some money around because the deal is on a short period. In order to get the discount, they're going to have to purchase it very quickly. Well, the accountant is hesitant and is not willing to necessarily move that much money around. I think it's up to $1,000. They said they can move around. Um, the AD tries to convince the accountant that for safety purposes, this is something that they need to do. Um, the accountant counters it with, why can't the booster club pay for it? Um, the AD explains that the booster club doesn't have that amount of money right now, that in a month or so they're going to do a big fundraiser and they will have it and be able to pay the, the athletic department back for purchasing the mat, but they don't have it right now. The AD explains that this is something that needs to be done for the kids, um, but the accountant doesn't want to violate board policy. The AD tries to ask, is there any other possible way that they could get this money transferred so they could purchase it? And that's the end of the scenario. The process of the strategies that for a normal um, CP that you wouldn't be able to use in this case, well, there's no anger. Um, they're not combative. They're not abusive towards the athletic director, and they're not irrational, um, and they're not out of control. So there's really not much of a need to calm the situation or any of the strategies that you normally would take with an angry CP. So the strategies that the AD was currently trying to use with this the accountant um, was bringing in the safety of the vaulters. Uh, Something I think they probably could have done is bring in more facts, such as possibly saving the district more money in the long run, not just on the mats themselves, but also possible lawsuits as a result of an injury from the mats that they currently have. I'm not sure that would work or not, but that's in this case, facts might help. Um, they probably need more info overall, it sounds like. Um, and something that they might not have thought about is they keep saying that the accountant keeps saying that it violates board policy. Okay, well, maybe the AD could just simply come up with a strategy of saying, okay, well, what is the worst case scenario? What would that mean? What would that do? Um, and that would force the accountant possibly to say, well, this would happen. And if it's not really that big a deal, then that could be a way that they could get the mats purchased. Um, Overall, things that the AD must do, they have to be patient. When you're dealing with a logical um, CP, um, you have to be patient. You have to listen to their concerns. Um, you have to acknowledge the points, and you have to, above all, avoid being negative. So, what does that mean, being patient? Um, if you're not, a logical CP will retreat into their shell, become passive aggressive, and shut down on you. When you're listening to their concerns, what this will do is it will validate their position. A lot of times, um, these type of CPs, they are reclusive, maybe work by themselves, so they may have a feeling of not being appreciated. So if you can validate their concerns, it might go a long way. Um, Along those same lines would be acknowledging the points that they have, and this would avoid criticism. And finally, by not being negative, um, if they start becoming negative, you can't follow suit. You want to use an assertive voice to establish your points and to make them valid, but avoid being negative at all costs. So, in conclusion, a way to address a CP that is logical and not being aggressive, um, I feel like the AD should have had more facts in hand. Um, they should have talked to their billing administrator instead of just going to the district accountant. Uh, Talk to the superintendent in charge of grounds. Get this cleared with them, or if possible, go to the board president and say, is there any possible way we can go around um, board policy in this case? Um, what the AD is doing is they're putting the accountant in a position of power and authority, which if they had just avoided this, the AD could just avoid this, um, you wouldn't put them in that position in the first place just by contacting others that are in charge.